whimpering and crying and screaming all the way. The compound had been cleared by this time, with people either surrendering or being shot and killed. 11 young children were moved out of the house and are uninjured. He reached the end of the tunnel as our dogs chased him down. He ignited his vest, killing himself and the 3 children. His body was mutilated by the blast. The tunnel had caved in on it in addition. But test results gave certain, immediate, and totally positive identification.
Breaking news. For the 3rd time in as many years, the leader of ISIS has been killed. Confirmed every time. Yet reports are coming in right now that this entire operation didn't even happen. It was a smokescreen to deflect away from the current hostile politics playing out on CNN. We've got all the news right here on Stranger Than Fiction News. This is going to blow you away, to say the least. Where do we begin?
President Obama. He is the founder of ISIS. He's the founder of ISIS, okay? He's the founder. He founded ISIS. And I would say the co-founder would be crooked Hillary Clinton.
Okay, so where does that come from? Why is Obama ISIS? Ladies and gentlemen, you have to go back in history a little bit. After the Snowden asylum case, after the revolution in Ukraine, that was payback for Snowden, after MH17 and the works, then came Operation Syria, Benghazi. They were running guns in. You had Lindsey Graham and McCain going in, setting up the ISIS with Obama. And so Obama is ISIS. Of course, the whole reference...
Whimpering and crying and screaming.
We're going to get into that. But the whole reference, ladies and gentlemen, to Obama is ISIS is, in fact, a cult reference, a reference of the dark side. We're having some technical fucking difficulties right now. Bear with us as we fire the video guy. The video guy is hereby fired. This is incredible evidence of the attacks right now. This is what's coming in. There's, in fact, very little footage of the attacks themselves and very little evidence that they actually occurred. We're going to get into some of the real damning footage that we have. This appears to be the mop-up crew in Idlib, and this is, of course, the home of the White Helmets, home of previous Gladio B events. If you remember the gas attacks and the like, the reason that they sent in cruise missiles were attacks in Idlib. It's been a huge hotbed of operations from the Obama is ISIS Benghazi crew. And again, if you look at the photographic evidence, ladies and gentlemen, you've got Lindsey Graham, you've got John McCain out there meeting, we should say, with the leaders of ISIS. Who remembers all of this evidence? And so right now, after they get busted with Ukraine, after the Kurd genocide, there was this thing going around, where's Lindsey? Well, Lindsey was busy preparing this new Gladio B event. And in this footage of the mop-up crew, the White Helmets on location, they're talking about the 3 little girls that were supposedly with the leader of ISIS, and they found them riddled with bullets. So they weren't blown up as the official reports state. They were actually executed. Who knows whose children, that they were. We don't know whose kids that they were. And the whole thing, we should really go back to the beginning. It would be safe to go back to the beginning, but we kind of want to find another real important piece of evidence here.
He is the founder of ISIS.
Okay. So right now, RT is retweeting Moscow recorded no U.S. coalition airstrikes in the Idlib area in northwest Syria on Saturday when the raid was held. Now, we do have some video of a helicopter fight. That's one video that's come out regarding this raid. This is another video that's come out regarding this raid. But in all, there's probably like 5 videos that have anything to do with this raid, on the entire internet. This was like, it's like it didn't exist. But the videos that have come out undoubtedly look like, psyops, extraordinaire. And they seem like, controlled, witness perspectives that are out there to shape the narrative. I'm sure there's a million ways to talk about this.
Whimpering and crying and screaming all the way. The compound had been cleared by this time.
Okay, so whimpering and crying the whole way. Where are they getting this information? Is this like, the Tom Clancy, Jack Ryan novels where they've got the satellite zoomed in and they can actually hear, what's going on underground? Where is this information coming from that he was crying and whimpering the whole way? We hope he was, but where's the proof here?
With people either surrendering or being shot and killed.
Okay, shot and killed by the helicopters. We got footage of that, possibly. But who survived this massive airstrike is the question that everybody should be asking. You've seen this video. You've heard the sound effects. It's trippy, as can be. It's something else. And this explosion was obviously some high grade, high velocity explosives, the kind that, took down the World Trade Center, you could say. So the question is, who survived these airstrikes and this 2-hour gun battle that occurred? Well, it seems like, a whole bunch of people survived. And they were whimpering and crying the whole way till the end of the tunnel. The timing here is convenient given the politics, and as you can expect, as this administration digs itself deeper into a hole, it's gonna start throwing out the classic Gladio B events. Just wait until it goes domestic, ladies and gentlemen. Let's listen in again.
11 young children were moved out of the house and are uninjured.
Uninjured after that massive attack. Ladies and gentlemen, who would believe such a thing? Now
He
here's
reached the end of the tunnel
okay.
as our dogs chased him down. He ignited his vest, killing himself and the 3 children.
So that would imply that it was actually our troops that were right there in the middle of the situation, on the ground. They actually, got off the helicopter, landed like, SEAL Team 6, right? Whatever happened to that crew? What's going to happen to this crew? But in any case, so there's dogs. They're chasing him. They hear him crying, please, please, as he's running, through the tunnels with his kids and the explosive vests and perhaps a couple of wives as well.
Children. His body was mutilated by the blast.
Mutilated by the blast.
The tunnel had caved in on it in addition.
The tunnel has caved in. Okay, and I think we've got, a video of this. It's real grainy, nothing spectacular. So are we to expect here, let's see if we can find these videos. Are we to expect that they just flew in some excavators, a bulldozer, and actually found the guy? You think they hung around for that? Because we got video of the mop-up crew, of what looks like the mop-up crew that's talking about the corpses here. It doesn't look like our troops at all. It looks like they outsourced it. We got to get confirmation of that. So that's unconfirmed. But this looks like the hole, right? So look, that might be the hole from the mega bomb that we saw. But where's this tunnel that supposedly just totally imploded? How long was the tunnel? Did they excavate and do a DNA test? How do they know? How do they know? What's their proof? What's the evidence? Because this guy slipped away 3 different times. At least, we're not trying to be mean here, but how do they know? They're saying that the tunnel caved in. But they got a positive ID. So how did they do that? Is that through hearsay, or do they know for sure? And I'll tell you what, I mean, the guy looked like an actor. You know, the whole thing looked real Hollywood, and there was a lot of, you know, speculation, if you will, about
whimpering and crying and screaming all the way.
Right. So, you know, the whole thing looked like, you know, it was part of the act, to be quite honest with you, from the very get-go. All of these people that you see on television, they're just part of the psyops, part of the propaganda, Edward Bernays, Tavistock Institute. And that kind of brings us to, you know, the history of Idlib and these chemical weapons attacks with the white helmets and the like, which has been proven, you know, through and through. And then let's not forget the Porton Down attacks in the UK, which happened like 2 miles from their, you know, premier weapons, chemical weapons facility. But getting back to this mop-up crew, and we've got the details of this on our Twitter report, STFN, Stranger Than Fiction News on Twitter. And you can find the translation of this and the original audio, where this mop-up crew that's on site in Idlib, on the site of like this compound, they're talking about the bodies of the 3 little girls that they undressed and that were riddled with bullets. So these girls were executed. They weren't, you know, blown up by either our bombs or their bombs. These girls were executed, and they were probably kidnapped as well. So the whole thing is, you know, it smells a lot like the gas attacks in Syria, which happened exactly at this location. Let's see if we can bring up some more about that, if we can. Let's see what the video guy is doing. So we did a lot of reports on this, you know, back in the day. If you still remember our reports, you know, feel free to buy us a beer at patreon.com/STF News. But support our cause, ladies and gentlemen. But look, these attacks were obviously staged, and they came out admittedly later saying that, in fact, this whole thing was staged. So you got to imagine the crew that's out there, the network that's out there already, you know, to do these kind of things. But there's...
Now, Russia and Syria denied any chemical weapons were used. I'm just wondering why you wouldn't share your evidence with the world. Adlai Stevenson famously went to the UN in 1962 with evidence of the Russian buildup in Cuba. Why wouldn't you do something similar, especially if there are doubts?
Well, there's no doubt for us.
Well, why don't you share the evidence then?
One, a lot of this has to do with intelligence. And
why won't you share the evidence? Oh, we don't want to share the evidence. So, but the evidence, you know, was quite clear. And then it came out that the whole thing was staged. And this is exactly, you know, the same kind of area, the exact same area. You know, all of these people are connected. The whole thing screams, you know, Gladio B once again. And a lot of people are just gonna, you know, take it the wrong way. They don't care what the truth is. They don't care what the evidence says. They would rather just, you know, stick with the program, trust the plan, trust the scam, if you will. And I think that the moment that you stop being a skeptic when it comes to what the television is telling you, that's the moment that you're actually, you know, working for this matrix, defending it, protecting it, aiding and abetting it, and you know. Obviously, we've gotten our fair share of criticism for, you know, reporting on the news. And if people don't like the news, we'll just tell it to Julian Assange, tell it to the other whistleblowers that have had, you know, that have been stabbed in the back, you know, by this administration included. And I think that, you know, you should also tell it to the death towers that are coming your way. We're actually prepping a special report, a mind-blowing fucking report, with all the white papers from the Air Force, from NASA, the NST report, the Interphone report, a couple other institutes as well, you know, proving beyond a doubt that, in fact, these death towers do cause cancer. So be on the lookout for that report that's coming up here in the next couple of days. We were going to, you know, prep that today, go through all the white papers. People, you know, kind of zone out when you start talking science papers, but I think people should really pay attention to what's going on here. It's undoubted. They've known for like since the 1950s that this stuff causes cancer and that you should limit your dose and your exposure. That's why we recommend to people to get a meter to measure what you're getting dosed with. Now, we promote the EMF 390 because originally we were just looking for a meter for ourselves, and we were looking through, the different ones, the gigahertz solution, the tri-field meters and the like. They were like $300-400. We found this one for $100, ordered one, tried it out, compared with the others, and for the money you just can't beat it. It's $100, $109 to be precise. Through our affiliate program, you can find all the information on our website, stfnreport.com. But the point here is that you don't want to overexpose yourself to these death towers, to this radiation, which truly is a danger and a risk to everyone that you know and love. And we can't recommend it enough. They sell them on Amazon as well for $119. You can get them through us for $109 through our affiliate program, direct from the manufacturer. Their warranty, their customer service, it's excellent. People love it, and you'll be glad you got one. You'll thank us in the morning. Here's some screenshots of the EMF 390. It picks up electric fields, magnetic fields, radio frequency radiation. The El Cheapo from Home Depot for like $20 only picks up magnetic fields. It doesn't pick up the death towers. The EMF 390 picks up from 0 to 10 gigahertz, everything from TV, radio, cell phones, base stations, routers to radar. So you're going to know what you're getting dosed with. You can fox hunt towers with it, as well as tracking devices, bugs, and the like. So you want to check that out. Put it on your shopping list. Get some for people that you care about. This thing will really change your world, to say the least. And we don't want to see anybody out there getting overdosed by these death towers and by this radiation. But the reports, the white paper reports that we're going to be covering, again, NASA, Air Force, gold standard science papers, absolutely agree that these death towers cause cancer and a myriad of other diseases. We can't stress that enough, that these things are not safe, and the evidence is overwhelming. They're hiding it from you, just like everything else, just like the rest of the eugenics programs, the fluoride, the vaccines, the pesticides, the GMOs, the geoengineering, the spray for mosquitoes and the like. It's all really there to dose you. And, we're going to be going over the stats, but literally the incidence of cancer in children has literally quadrupled in the past 15-20 years. The numbers are staggering, and while science is able to save some of these kids, the risk factors are undeniable. And right now, of course, it's looking like hell on earth in California. We're expecting some big news with some windstorms out there. Just tons of news to cover. Be sure to check out the latest on stfnreport.com. That's STFN for Stranger Than Fiction News, stfnreport.com. Don't miss out, ladies and gentlemen. We broadcast pretty much every day. Update the website every day. No reason to be in the dark due to the censorship. Get your news from Stranger Than Fiction, ladies and gentlemen. Any case, this situation that's breaking right now in Syria, that's being celebrated like Osama bin Laden 2.0, is just like cheap parlor tricks to kind of like bring up the poll numbers.
He is the founder of ISIS.
And the drum up support. Now he wants to be a wartime president. He's got to have those credentials. He's serious. He's talking about whacking people, kind of like Epstein. Whatever happened to Epstein? Anybody remember that case? It's just disappeared. It's just weird, isn't it? That guy was ready to implicate everybody, and he just disappears into thin air.
Now, Russia and Syria denied any chemical weapons were used.
Now, getting back to probably the most damning evidence right now is that there's just no radar confirmation that these attacks ever took place. So chances are this video, this finite selection of videos that have surfaced in regards to this incident, they're all like controlled, pre-recorded, part of the psyop from the same, studio, same director, and the like, being released. We got this grainy footage that just shows craters in the ground. This is supposedly the compound. This is being reported on by mainstream news outlets. We've got something that's supposedly a little more, a little more high quality, you could say, and it just looks like, they're faking the moon landing all over again. How do you trust these people on television when all they do is lie to you and distract you away from, the eugenics program, which is really them bringing, the gas chamber to the people instead of bringing people to the gas chamber. And it's pretty wicked, man, the way these people operate. But if you've been following the news, there's really no denying the evidence. There's something strange going on out there. It's stranger than fiction, if you will. That's the way the truth is out there. And people want to know. They want to know what they're waking up to. And what we tell people is just, look for the hidden nuances, the general theme, that you're seeing on television, whether it be the news, the movies, or, even the music, the radio, etc. It's all got this same kind of theme to it, which is, it's like the Santa Claus, which is an anagram for the devil. It's trying to replace what that season is about. It's all really product placement for the devil. Pay attention to it. It's all promoting sin and debauchery. It's all promoting anti-Christian ideas, Sodom and Gomorrah, all that stuff. And of course they spin it, a million different ways so that you'll love it and embrace it, protect it, and the like. But that doesn't change the fact of, what's good and what's evil. And, they can try and, pretend to be some sort of moral authority out there. But in fact, that these people are of the dark side. You've known it your whole entire life. And you're just wondering, well, is it okay to jump on board kind of like on Halloween when you put on, a costume? Is it okay to dress up like the devil once a year? Is it okay, to participate in what they're trying to sell you on the television? And our recommendation is to, compare what you're seeing out there to what is being described in the Gospels. Does this seem Christian-like to you? Whether it be creepy Biden with his hands all over the little girls, or whether it be, this administration on his third wife. You know what I mean? Among other things. We don't want to get mean, but look, there's just a mountain of evidence here that should make everybody a little suspicious about what's going on. And people want to think like, well, this guy is, a big outsider, he's out here to reform the system. He worked for 11 years on NBC. They were conditioning you to like him. He's a lifelong Democrat, and all of a sudden you think he's a Republican? Are you fucking serious out there? We got a bridge. We got a bridge to sell you. If that's the kind of person you are. But if you've got, half a brain, then get an EMF 390 before you exceed your limits out there. And everybody's threshold is a little different. We recommend, bringing it down to a very minimum. You should really be at 0.001 milliwatts per meter squared, and most people are just eating up like 5, 10, 20, 30 milliwatts every second. The doses are like, astronomical compared to the natural world. And of course, EMF is completely synthetic. It doesn't occur in the natural world. And so they can call it part of the electromagnetic spectrum, like it's light or something like that. And while, the properties are somewhat similar, it's not a natural phenomenon at all. And it literally is radiation. Literally, ladies and gentlemen. And what's interesting in these reports that we're going through, we're just kind of like throwing this out there, but they're seeing mutagenic characteristics of radio frequency radiation. And so they call it non-ionizing, but it has the effect of damaging, the chromosomes, causing mutations, causing rare and malignant cancers. This is no joke. This is no joke, and it really is the best meter out there for the money. For $100, I mean, it'll change your life. It's like a life preserver. You know what I mean? And in the urban jungle out there, you want to get one. STFNreport.com. Get one today. What else can we say about what's going on out there, ladies and gentlemen? It's the epic struggle of good versus evil. It's the pages of the Bible playing out before your very eyes. Check out 666 Fifth Avenue, how it relates to 666 Pennsylvania Avenue. Check out where Google sends all of its money, P.O. Box 666. All right, check out the 6 o'clock news on Channel 6. It's everywhere. These cult members are everywhere. And they're in control.
Now, Russia and Syria denied any chemical weapons.
And they're in control of the schools. They're brainwashing your kids. They're in control of your local government, your state government, your law enforcement. You saw the FBI, what they're capable of, time and time again. The whole system is corrupt, ladies and gentlemen. And the last thing you want to do right now is pick sides. Pick an option that the television is providing you. It's like they got a multiple choice question. You pick A, B, or none of the above. What happens if you don't vote? Well, we're not a winner either. We need serious change in this country, and that can really only happen from the ground up, from local communities. And I think everybody out there in their town should be silent protesting, picketing against 5G and fluoride, and start a network from that. Start building a network, start a group, have it be, the Minneapolis Action Committee or something, you know what I mean? Chicago Action, whatever. But start getting organized in your towns before it's too late, because, the 5G is really just the beginning of something else. It's going to be the backbone for all of the Terminators, Robocops, drones, super AI surveillance, pre-crime, Orwellian nightmare. It's all going to be running on 5G. And, so basically we're investing in, total enslavement here. What happens when they fully automate the workforce? What happens when, they don't need people at the factories or on the farms or in the stores anymore? What happens when robots do everything and the super rich can just, relax and push a button? What button will it be? Will it be the Death Tower button? Will it be the Robocop button? Look, in any case, everybody knows these types of scenarios. It's been, well presented in movies like The Terminator, Elysium, and the like. This is not what we want. We don't want these people from Silicon Valley, writing the code that goes into these Robocops, into the Skynet, into the Terminators, and the like. And right now, it looks like hell on earth over there. I'm not sure how many people are following what's going on in California, California, especially in Silicon Valley, San Jose, San Francisco. But they're basically, they're going out like it's hell on earth right now. And so that should be a developing story. And there's a reason why it looks like hell on earth over there, because, they're trying to ban the Bible. They're fully promoting, what's, what is restricted. They fully promote the Sodom and Gomorrah. They fully promote, lies, not truth, and the like. So there's no surprise. Look at these death towers. Look how low they are. Any case, this is the EMF 390 on the right. You got the gigahertz solution in the middle, tri-field on the left. Very comparable products, but not at all the same price. And the EMF 390, the quality is excellent. 1 year warranty, excellent customer service. Don't be a mark out there. Get smart. Get the EMF 390 today. Check out our website, stfnreport.com, for more news and check out our archives. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. I mean, we've done the rounds of this story. We've done, in-depth reports on these various Gladio B events. I hope you are aware of your current events and not just rewritten history or propaganda. Never trust the television out there. Remember, it's the epic struggle of good versus evil. Everybody should be reading the Gospels or listening to it on tape. They got it, online. Ladies and gentlemen, just, Google Matthew King James Version, and pretty much the first video that comes out is right there, easy to listen to. Until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to this, you are the resistance.